Good morning. Thank you, you made it. Good morning. Thank you, you made it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Have a nice, sweet, short little class today. Get your day started. Thank you guys for being patient and refreshing all those times, because it clearly took every single one to get you here, so thank you. And for those of you that gave up, I hope your morning is amazing, even though you can't hear me talk. Let's get started. It's, hips, upper back, and the head against the wall. I always like to set my mat up perpendicular to the wall. It gives us the most options, huge benefits from doing this work. Using the vertical surface of the wall gives us a reset. Push the back of the head in the wall a little bit. Now, in physical therapy, you'll be trained to pull your chin in, sort of like sliding a drawer in. And there may be some benefit to that, but in general, I'm cautious. I caution against that. So instead, push the back of the head in the wall and lift your chin just an inch. So it feels like it's almost like I'm trying to catch the wall and pull down with the back of my head. Okay, now see if you can continue pushing back with just a little bit of a pull. I'm not looking up at the ceiling at all. I'm still looking forward. Just a slight tilt to the head. Take your shoulders off the wall. So good. Good, good, good. Okay. Turn your head. Right side of the head pushes into the wall, shoulders come off. So I have strong rotation. It's almost like I'm trying to touch my right ear to the wall. But chances are you'll just touch the sort of bulge that's just above the ear. If I'm lucky, I feel a little bit of work on the back right side of the neck. One more breath. I switch to the left. Ooh. Push. Ooh. Outstanding. Fold forward. I'm going to have my feet walk forward a little bit. Elbows on the femurs, head hangs. Let's see how completely we can let the weight of the head hang off the spine. But I'm not hanging my spine off the hips just yet. I'm really supporting through the elbows. I am, however, trying to find the way to relax the neck, the back of the neck, throat. One more deep breath. Let's shift our weight forward on the toes. I feel the toesies grip. And back on the heels. You know that's the one we want. Make sure your tush isn't touching the wall. With the weight back on the heel, sink the hips a little bit, arch up. One more breath. And when you're ready, we shift forward. Let's come to hands and knees. Now I pad the knees. Of course, I love towels. Good morning, Stacy. Ooh. Shift the hips. See how that's feeling? Alright, now there's a few ways to do this. I'm actually going to have us do it on our elbows, but let's set up on hands. So I have my knees padded. I'm going to take my right foot straight out to the right. And if you look at my right foot, I'm on the inside edge of the foot. Pinky toe is up. I'm not trying to get the foot flat. Inside edge, and the right leg is completely straight. Don't let your right foot slide. Let's bring our elbows down. So I got two elbows on the floor, elbows under shoulders. Now, your brain says, okay, this is if this is supposed to be an inner thigh stretch, I should slide the foot as far as I can, and that's partially true. But what's going to get us there faster, of course, is learning how to control the hip joints and the back. So try to tip the pelvis forward, try to push your belly button towards the thigh. Everybody show me the drapiest drapey back you've ever drapified. Anybody feeling in your thighs? That's all you had to do. All you had to do is just drape that spine, and holy moly, there's the inner thigh. Now, we have a few people who would like a little bit more. Nobody goes beyond the prescribed instructions today. If you want a little bit more, you're welcome to slide your right foot exactly 6 inches. If you turned your head and looked away at me, it would look like I haven't moved my foot. 6 inches is not a lot. But if you're draping that spine, everybody in this class is getting something in their thigh. You don't need a stretch that makes you wince to make a difference. Super drapify that spine. I promise this stuff will open your hips up. Alright. I'm going to come back onto hands. Don't think about sliding your foot in. Think about physically relocating your pelvis, your butt, to the left. And that'll bring the foot in. Boop. Left foot to the left. Elbows on the floor. I'm on the inside edge of this left foot. Everybody look at your left foot. Make sure the pinky toe isn't down. You're not trying to flattenify the foot. And then show me the drapey drape. Shirt crinkles in lower back. Smooth, expansive breaths. If you like, you can slide 6 inches. Arch that chest out as you push your belly button down. 2 more breaths. So good. There we go. Back on the hands. Move your tush to the right. Now bring the foot in. Good, 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 good. Point the toes. Let's sit back on the heels. How are your knees doing? Now some of you, your knees are not going to let your hips come back to the heels. You just do the best you can. Support through the hands. You can look just like this. For the rest of us, see if you can sit up. See if you can let your body come all the way upright. If you're sort of close but not quite there, you can put a block in 1 or 2 dimensions, or maybe even 2 blocks between your feet. That way you can get upright, and as long as there's no wincing pain in the knee, we're good. A few breaths here. And check out your neck while you're here. Slow. Awesome, awesome. Let's come to sitting. We'll slide back to the wall, of course. You know the drill. So my hips are all the way back. Scooch, scooch. All right, my legs are actually going to stay just where they are, out in front of me. Head back, chest up. Smooth, deep inhales. Nothing fancy. I am going to go straight to the block. So I got my legs out in front of me, perpendicular to the wall. I'm reasonably symmetric. Let's go ahead and slide the block behind the head. Arch up, see if you can get your belly forward. Now it's the exact same movement we were just trying to create on elbows and knees. The difference being, of course, sheesh. Whew. This guy has more in its way. You can feel it, can't you? Hamstrings are a talking. Good. Good, good. Get rid of the block. Shoulders and head come back on that wall easier. Take a deep inhale. It's way freer. Okay, let's continue this process. Soles of the feet together. Because I'm against the wall, I can technically bring my feet a little bit closer today. Yeah, I'll let you do that. It's cool. Doesn't have to be extreme. I shouldn't feel anything in the knee. Just sweet stretching the inner thigh. Oh. We get our block behind the head. Lift the chest up. See if you can get shoulders off the wall. Really lift your chin as you arch up. Trying to keep the neck neutral, not get any stretching. A few of you might be able to get the block behind your shoulders. That's cool. Arch that chest up. Maybe a little lower. Oh boy. Now we're talking. And of course, eventually, the block gets so low you can get head and shoulders back on the wall. Now the nice thing is when you can get head and shoulders back on the wall, people will love you more. And that's good. It's like a love potion. One more breath. Okay. Cool beans. We get rid of the block. And once again, don't come out of the pose. Feel what you've done to you. What's the difference? Sketch the knees. Shake the legs out. Hold the head. Check out the neck. Whew. Scooch forward away from the wall. We're going to scooch forward enough that your toesies are on the front edge of your mat. I'm going to have you turn around so that you're going to face away from me, but it'll be helpful to watch me do this first. Feet as wide as the mat, knees drop to the right, and then I'm going to turn all the way around, bring elbows down back behind me. So first the right elbow, then the left. Once you've seen me do the movement, then you can join me. Don't worry about watching the screen. Start paying attention to your breath. This is one of the, there's this 3 distinct periods of your sort of beginning yoga practice where you start any new discipline, but particularly yoga. You've never done any movement or stretching, certainly not in a group environment, and then all of a sudden you're thrown in to a room where you can barely see the teacher and they're not really demonstrating very much and they're not using language very clearly, and everyone around you obviously knows the drill. They're doing everything in a way you can't understand how they're getting that out of the instruction. And so you're mostly trying to copy what you're seeing around you, and there's just a lot of things going on. Still facing away from the screen, let's slide the hands into the shoulders. Arch the chest out. Use your back to pull the chest up. The top of the head reaches up. Still twisting to your right. As a matter of fact, try to see your screen over your right shoulder. So turn all the way back around with your neck like an owl. Get a contraction up that left side of lower back if you can. We call that the floundering stage. It's like you're drowning. And as a beginner instructor, all I want is for you to survive. We just give you a life vest. Just keep your head above water. Did you make it to the end of class? We won. Let's come back to center. So now we face the screen again. Face the front of your mat. Okay, let's take a moment before we switch sides. Feet as wide as the mat. Get the chest out. And then you get better at it, and you sort of understand the language, and you get what the teacher's trying to say because you've heard them say it 1,000 times rather than that they're clear. Feet as wide as the mat. We drop the knees to the left. Turn all the way around. Second side. No. Let's bring the left elbow down. Oh, can you turn enough to get the right elbow down? It's so much harder. And my second side twist. Favorite twist from sitting. Stuff is so good. And you're sort of present to your environment. You're getting present to what the shape of your body's in. You know the language, you've learned the language. But the thing about that first stage, when you're floundering, it required all of your attention. You were at max bandwidth. That's the floundering feeling. You had no extra attention to think about anything else. And then as you learn the practice, it becomes more rote, more part of your system. You don't have to have any question about what you're doing. It just sort of happens more automatically, which actually frees up mental bandwidth for you to think about lunch or taxes or the future. And so there's a way that there's a trap. Let's slide the hands on the shoulders. Still twisting, please. Still facing away. Pull your left shoulder back. Everybody turn even left or turn your nose to the left. And look for a contraction on the right side of the back. This is why I love teaching level 1 classes. Level 1 classes, particularly once you've learned them, once they become a part of your system, you got it. They demand that you actually control your attention. If you come to my 7:30 Tuesday, Thursday class, or even for many of you, come to my 11 o'clock class today, I'm going to give you something to think about. you are not going to be able to think about taxes. I challenge you to think about taxes at any point in the whole class. You won't be able to do it. For the exact same reason that when you are a very, very beginner, you can't think about anything else. We max out your bandwidth. Good, good, good. Let's use the rotation of the position. Swing your legs around to the wall. We're going to scooch our tush close enough to the wall so we can come into second best. You knew we were going to do this. You're not going to be denied on a Sunday morning. Oh, yay. We're hard at work trying to try to find the right people to work on the site. We're going to do some pronto upgrades to give you guys a better experience before we completely rebuild it. So we got several different crews looking at it, poking around, seeing what's the best way. And for us, there's no reason to spare expense. This is the thing we've always cared about. With things like the teacher training, those classes fill up. We trust in the process. There's some fun things coming down the pike for the teacher training as well. But the thing we absolutely believe in, and just want you guys to have a better experience using, is the website. There's some really important features I want you guys to have, some ease of use, and those things are coming. We're working hard. As an employee, my job is to give you good value. If you're going to pay me money, my thinking is I want to make you at least 10 times that money you're paying me. And with the one place I'm employed, I can guarantee that that's exactly what I bring. Much more than that, actually. And so if you're going to pay me $10, my job is to give you 10 or 100-fold value. That's the game. Hopefully we're winning enough to keep you around for a while so you can see these upgrades. Thank you guys for your trust. Notice the tension in your jaw. As a matter of fact, let's do a little bit of work. Take your thumbs, give yourself 2 thumbs up. I'm going to dig around in the back of my neck. So I got my thumbs really enthusiastically digging around in the back of the neck and start poking around where the squishiness of the tissue of the neck musculature feeds into the base of the skull. So you got this big hard plate of the skull and the meat of the neck really right in that border. I can never remember this word on cue, the terminus. There we go. Take your thumbs, trace them around towards the space under the ears. So you'll feel under the ear there's kind of a hard bump. It's not cancer. That's your mastoid process. There we go. And now between the mastoid process and the jaw, you can actually dig your fingers in there too. Most people, that's really quite tender, and it really shouldn't be. All right. Good, good, good. Now, keep digging with your thumbs. If you trace this line, we were here between that little trough between mastoid process and the jaw. Now if you slide your thumbs up, you can start pushing on the jaw just in front of your ear. And for most human beings, this is crazy tender. And again, it shouldn't be. There should be nothing tender in your body, and definitely nothing tender in your jaw. Digging in, poking in, digging in, poking. Digging in, poking in, digging. We're going to keep working our thumbs, digging around. Now start digging around. You're going to trace the base of your ear. You're going to bring your thumbs all the way around, poking, looking for anything tender. If you do find something tender, particularly tender, you really want to make it your job, part of your job, to start paying attention to that regularly. Okay? Let's pinch the top of the ears. Think Vulcan or Elf. Pull the top of the ears up, away from the shoulders. Alright, grab the middle of the ear, pull it down towards the floor. Again, don't pull your ears off. Just a little stretch. And now catch the lobes, the ear lobes, and pull down towards the shoulders. That should feel nice. Go back to digging around in the jaw. So now, I'm pushing on the jaw right in front of the ear. You can actually feel where the cheekbone comes up. It's a really sharp bone. It's kind of nice that you can just differentiate that just above the jaw. And then keep going up. Go past the cheekbone into the temple. Oh. And then put your notice how I flip my hands. I tend to like it with the thumbs. You can use any finger if you like. Put your thumbs or any finger right here on the bridge of your nose at the beginning of your eyebrows, and now trace your eyebrows pushing all the way to the temples. So good. So don't push too hard. You can actually bruise the orbit of the eye. Don't go too low if you bruise it, but if you're on top of the skull, you can push quite hard. All right, now come back to the bridge of the nose, right by the tear ducts, and start pushing. Right there, good. And now, if I take my fingers just below the tear ducts, sort of on the upper bone of the cheekbone, and work down to the base of the nose, right here often, particularly when sinuses are full, you got allergy stuff is going on, right at the base of the nose, right beside your nostrils, above your teeth, and right below your cheekbones. For some reason, you put a little bit of pressure there, you get a nice relief in sinuses, and it's symptomatic of stuff going on in the head, and somehow it helps. Now I start pushing on this space between the teeth and the cheekbones as I work my way back to the ear. Sort of dig up under the cheekbones. Oh, pushing on the teeth. Pushing on the teeth. Boom, 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 boom. Good, good, good. Let your arms relax. It's hard work holding your arms up, isn't it? And now take some deep breaths. And imagine you could breathe into the memory of all those places you just massaged. Can you still feel it? Huge, expansive breaths. Let's wiggle those toes. Take the heels off the wall, roll those ankles. Whew. Runner stretch. So I slide my left foot flat on the wall, and about as high as the knee. Right ankle crosses over the left knee. We allow for the stretch. Everybody, push your tailbone to the floor, arch your chest out. Don't use your hands to push, rather try to create a contraction in your right buttons. Pull the right knee to the wall. All right, your right foot is just so handy, isn't it? It's just right there, so grabbable, so reachable. So my right hand is going to catch the right side of the pinky toe side of this right foot. And don't worry about winning some games. Just take your right shin to vertical. Take my right foot off the left knee, holding on that pinky toe side. My right knee is bent, the shin is vertical. Everybody arch your chest. Woo! Ooh, one more deep breath. Let me shake that out. Whew. All right. Slide the right foot flat on the wall. Left ankle crosses over the right knee. How full are your inhales? Put the tailbone on the floor, we arch the chest out. Again, don't push with the hands, it's so tempting to push. Pull with left gluteals. Pull this left knee towards the wall. Catch that left foot with the left hand. Left hand catches the pinky toe side. You take the shin to vertical so my left knee is bent. Shoulder blades down, arch that chest up. Lucky I should be getting some inner thigh stuff. Outstanding. Take both legs over to the left, timber. So the knees are basically stacked. Both legs fall to the left, and now let the weight of your right arm reach to the right. Now obviously, I'm not there with you, but you want to imagine that my foot of loving kindness is in your lower back, pushing your chest up. How do you get your lower back even higher away from the floor? In this position, you'll probably feel mostly the left side of lower back. That's good. Slow and easy. Slow. One leg at a time. We switch. We ease over to the right. The weight of the left arm. He stretches open the left side of the chest, the shoulder. If I'm lucky, I'm feeling a stretch on the top of this top hip, sort of the outside of the left hip, left side of lower back. Left rib cage, the chest, the shoulder, maybe even down to the arm a little bit. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Last breath. And finally, let's come into reading pose. So you'll probably just scooch away from the wall. Roll onto your side, roll onto your belly. Yay! Shoulder blades down, head pushes up. Check out your neck. Feel that massage. See if there's more sensation. Bend the knees. See if you can TikTok your knees here. If it's too intense with the elbows under shoulders and reading pose, just slide your elbows apart, set your head down. So you can do a normal little TikTok. Don't make things overly intense. Roll the ankles, check out the feet. Good, 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 good. Let's walk elbows over to the right. Ooh. So my legs are still in line with the mat. Elbows over to the right. What's it like to inhale here? Trying to breathe into this left side. Something's going on. One more breath. So much of this stuff is so simple. For my true level 1 classes, second side, stretching this right side. My goal is, for most of the people in the class, particularly for people new to the class, to at least once in class be like, what are we even doing anything? What is the purpose? When is the yoga going to start? And then when class is over, the body's transformed. That's the game. If you like that being smashed in the face experience with yoga, definitely show up to the harder classes. It's a little bit more face smashing. This is so important. We take the time to really inflate the lungs. Everybody take a deep inhale. Now keep trying to inhale. A little bit more. A little bit more. Even more. Stretching the right side. 3, 2, open! And you let that go. That was 1 breath. So if I say stay in a pose for 10 to 20 breaths, I don't mean 10 to 20 of your normal crappy breaths. I want 10 to 20 of those breaths that transform your body. Let's do 1 more like that. Come right back to center. Stack your hands, set the head down. Oh, yay. The belly and chest expand. Push into the floor.
Take a moment and just notice if there's any part of your brain that's flitting to yesterday. We sure do carry around the baggage of our past, don't we? It's a part of any kind of morning practice, particularly any kind of morning meditation practice, is to let go of what's already happened and know that although it has everything to do with bringing you to this moment, it has absolutely nothing to do with what's going to happen next. A few more inhales. Now imagine your future, the rest of the day. And if you start to get bummed out, that's because it's sort of like you filled up your lemonade pitcher with concrete. And you're not excited about drinking concrete lemonade tomorrow. So instead, dump the pitcher out. Your day is empty. Yeah, you got stuff on the schedule, but you're free. One more breath. The body's free. You don't have to carry around the burden of all that stuff outside the hands flat. World's laziest push-up, pretty please. Some of you were like, I wish I had stuff to do today. Let's take a moment. We're going to come into standing, but let's take a moment. Tick-tock the head. Ooh. See how that's feeling? All right. Now, we're going to do our jiu-jitsu get-up. And it's way easier than it looks. Left foot flat, right hand flat, sort of behind me and to the right. Everybody take your left arm up, and you're going to take your right leg behind you. You're going to pick your butt up, take your right leg behind you without putting your left hand on the floor. And like magic, you made that look amazingly graceful. I know you did. I don't need visual evidence. Once you're upright, we tick-tock the head. Make sure you don't get lightheaded. Pretty good. Let's do 3 for the road. We begin with elbows. You catch elbows, shoulder blades pulled down. Just do the best you can here. Don't worry about if you can't quite catch or your arms are too short. Maybe you got little stubby fingers. There's no way you're going to catch your elbows. That's okay. Tick-tock. Crackle crunch. Okay. Now we're going to keep this space behind the back. You open up in a bad waiter. Fantastic. Chest opens up, elbows kick forward. Nice deep breaths. Okay. Now keep this posture. You've created a space in lower back. You've created this upright posture in the chest. Shoulder blades down. Now interlace fingers. Catch the back of your head. Keep your shoulder blades away from the ears. Lift your chin. Gently tilt your head back. Look up at the ceiling. I should be supporting my head as I arch up. Now reach one elbow way up to the ceiling. Stretch that side. And the other. Alternating. Don't forget to breathe. Then use the hands, help the head float back up to vertical. Stay on the line, lovely people. We got my favorite ANDRIA teaching the next class, and then I'll be teaching at 11 o'clock. So hope you guys have an amazing morning. If you're off to your day, high fives to you. Otherwise, we'll see you right back here in a few minutes. All the love. Talk to you in a bit.
Well, good morning and happy Sunday to you. Let's go ahead and set our blocks up on the front two corner edges of your mat, and we're going to start with balance. 100% weight on the left leg. Go ahead and catch your arms behind your back. Head reaches up towards the ceiling, and now you breathe. Feel the twitchiness of your left foot as it works to keep your buns over it. Nice, smooth, deep breaths. And now, still standing on this left leg, we reach down and catch the right knee. With the weight of the leg, pull the shoulders down as you arch your chest up between your arms. And now, can you press the hips back over the heel? Making sure you're not letting the hips come forward for this just yet. And now you keep caught of the right shin. Tick-tock your head. Wee. Very good. Head comes back to center. Nice deep inhale. Can you pick up the toes of your left foot? Shift weight back into the heel. And now you keep the right hand on the right shin, take the left arm behind the back, and we're going to take the right leg over to the right. The same idea, so I'm not pulling the knee in, I'm relaxing the leg into the hand. And now you open the right hand, you're going to press that knee into the hand. The hand resists. Straighten the left leg nice and tall. 3, 2, 1. Knee comes back to center. We're going to go ahead and send this right leg straight back. You bend the left knee, come all the way down into weather vane. If you need to, you just set the right toes down. If you need a little bit of balance. Still working this left leg. Good morning hip. It's unfortunate to think you have another leg to do. It's a good thing you only got 2 of them, huh? One more breath. Now the fun part, you try to balance all the way back up to standing without falling over, and then you walk around, feel the legs. Shake them out. Before we go into second side, you're going to take your feet all the way together. Stand up nice and tall. So we're fighting to lengthen the front of the body. And then you close your eyes. Pour your attention into the legs, comparing your left to the right side. Can you relax any residual tension in this left hip? One more breath. And then you open your eyes. Right foot is centered between the blocks. We catch the left knee. Same process on this side. So we're relaxing the leg, arching the chest up. Go ahead and wiggle the toes and roll the ankle of your left foot. No. Sure. Let's see if I can take a sip of coffee while staying balanced. Yeah. Right leg stays straight. You shift weight back into the heel. Pick up your toesies. Sorry, I can't offer you a sip of coffee as well. Espresso. If you drink such a thing. Here we go. And now we're going to open up this left leg. So the left leg is going to come out to the left. Right arm comes behind the back. And remember, throughout any of these postures, you're welcome to use a wall, or you might just come to normal balancing. You might ignore all the variations we do. The point is not the posture. The point is you're taking time for yourself today. This hour is for you, to take care of you, to perhaps inject your body with a little bit more oxygen than normally you may have. Very good. So straighten that right leg a little bit more. Remember, we're trying to be tall. I'm not letting the hips shoot forward. I'm not relaxing in this position. So there's work to stay upright. And now you open up this left hand. You push the left knee into the left hand. We want the leg to win. I don't want the hand to win. I want the leg to get somehow more back, behind your hips even, without moving the pelvis. So I'm not reorienting the upper body. I'm keeping everything square with the front. I'm just pressing this left knee back. 3, 2, bring the left knee back to center. And now we're going to reach this left leg straight back. Come all the way down into the weather vane. Right knee is bent. You press the right knee to the right. We'll hang out here for a couple of breaths. Shift weight back into the left heel. You lighten the toes. No knee pain allowed. Two more deep breaths. And then you balance up. Wee. Walk around. Shake your legs out. And then come back to center. Feet all the way together. Arms behind your back. Stand up nice and tall. And then again, you close your eyes and compare the legs. So the last time we did this, you could really feel the difference between left and right side. But now just notice how much more alive your legs feel, how much more data you can capture from the feet. Can you feel your inhales? And if you get too dizzy with the eyes closed, you can either squint or just keep your eyes open. Either way, you're just comparing, feeling, noticing what's happening in your body. Your arms feel jealous, don't they? Don't worry, arms, we're getting to you. One more breath. And then you open your eyes. We're going to take our feet, heel toe them until the heels are off of your mat and the toes are on the mat. You've got your lovely blocks right in front of you. Bend the knees slightly. You're going to catch the blocks. I have your knees bent because I really want you to focus on this movement of the back. So I want the lower back to be draped towards the floor. The sternum, the chest is arched up between the arms. But I'm not moving the head. A lot of times when most people hear arch the chest up, it's just the neck movement. So your head looks up. This isn't a neck movement. This is your spine. And if you can really be able to do these two things together, initially it's much more sensational. Much more sensational. But long term, why we care about this is your body will work better. And if we can get you to be really good at the spinal extension with hip flexion throughout your day, that is even better. So we're just wiggling right now, checking out the hips. Side to side. No knee pain. Anytime you feel any kind of electrical shock or if there's any pain in the knees, just back off. Very good. So you keep the toes in, heels are out, And if you have your blocks in their second tallest dimension, go ahead and turn them until their tallest dimension. Your job is to bend the knees as much as you need to. Don't let this movement come from the shoulder joint. I want it to come from the hips. So you're continuing to arch up. You see if you can get your elbows on the blocks. If you can't get your elbows on the blocks, you just let the arms hang a little bit. You might need to take your feet a little bit wider. If you take your feet a little bit wider, that shortens your legs mechanically. And so it gives you a little bit more room to get the elbows down. The closer your legs are, the more mobility you have to have in the hips. Go ahead and wiggle side to side. You might notice there's a little shaking going on in your legs. To that I say high five. If you ever find that you're sore after any of these classes, soreness is not a good thing. And what I mean by that, I mean it's a great thing. I don't know why I just said that. See if you can sink the hips a little bit more. Press the knees apart, arch up. Press the elbows into the blocks. Very good. If that's going well for you, you can take your blocks into their next tallest dimension. Still arching the chest up. You get your elbows onto the blocks. Might need to bend the knees a little bit more. And the main thing is I want you fighting to arch the chest up. Even if you're a little bit rounded in your back, if you're fighting for this natural curve, it actually protects your back. My legs are really shaking today. It's a very silly feeling. Nice deep breaths. 3, 2, 1. Take the arms back up. A little bitty wiggle. There we go. And now for one of my favorites. Feet stay just like they are. You're going to take your hands on the floor in front of you. Now the caveat to this is your heels cannot come up. So you don't walk your hands any farther forward than you can without the heels down. So you keep the heels down. And then the same idea here. We're sliding the shoulder blades towards the hips. Arching the chest up. Go ahead and pick up your toes. Heels stay on the floor. And then we can wiggle the hips a little bit. Wow, that is sensational. So we really love being sore. Soreness is great. The kind of sensations we are concerned about is anything that gets worse over time. And soreness typically 48 hours if it's delayed onset, and then it'll get better. So it can get worse up to 2 days afterwards. But here we go. So nice. Come back to center. Walk the hands all the way back onto the blocks. Go ahead and heel toe your feet till they're hip width apart. And just for a measure, so you know, hip width apart is about a block between the feet. Make sure the feet stay parallel as you bend the knees, come all the way down into your squat. If you can't come all the way down to a squat without any pain, just keep the hips high. And once you get into your version of a squat today, tick-tock the head. We want to really, the game is to challenge the range of motion of your knees. If you don't use it, you lose it, as they say. Very good. Turn the head. And now see if you can reach the hips back a little bit more. If you can get the heels down in a squat, please do that. And then wherever you are here, arch your chest. And so I'm arching the chest up. I'm trying to pick my toes up. Ew. Spending time in a squat is a very helpful thing to do, especially if you'd like to have your heels down in a squat. If you would not like to have your heels down in a squat, well, you're probably not down at this moment. And so keep doing what you're doing. There we go. Now we shift the knees forward, come into our knees forward squat. Relax the weight of the body onto the feet. Noticing what it feels like. Your ankles, your calves, your toes, how relaxed your body is on the feet. Very good. Now you're going to come back into your forward bend, and make sure for this next process that you're not too close to a wall. I don't want you falling back at all, but if you do fall back, definitely not into a wall. The main danger with falling back in this is that it looks awkward. So if you're alone, you're good on that end. So the hips are, knees are bent, feet are hip width apart. You're going to take the blocks and you're going to place them on your calf. So I have it in this dimension, high up on the calf, flat, just below the knee. Then I bend the knees and I come into my squat with the elbows on the knees at first. So for the first variation, I'm trying to reach the hips down in our typical squat. We're not in a knees forward squat just yet. So you may be able to get your heels down. I would say show that off, but you can show it off to your dogs or your cats if you got those. Very good. And now we're going to shift the knees forward. Yay! Come into our knees forward squat. Now you're probably tensing up, trying to avoid the sensation. See how much you can relax the upper body onto the blocks. So we're squashing your hamstrings, we're squashing your calves. And again, if you're going to fall, definitely don't fall backwards. The sound effect for falling backwards is whoop, 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 whoop. And it's just silly. There we go. We're going to do this 2 more times with a block in a different place. So if you need to, you can be by a wall, sideways by the wall. You can use your fingertips. 1 more breath. And you catch your blocks. Come back into your forward bend, and now we slide the blocks down about 1 inch or 2 until they're on the belly of the calf. And then the same process again, you squish. Elbows on the thighs. Nice deep breaths. Every movement we do in our class together, I want you to be able to taste it. This is not going through the motions. And every breath you take is feeding the process, making everything easier, although it may not feel like it. 1 more breath. Super duper. Knees forward. Yeah. Woohoo. Relax the upper body. You feel the work in the feet to keep you balanced. Each inhale, your chest fills up with oxygen. You feel the rib cage open up. And each exhale, you try to keep that openness as you give up what you can. 1 more breath. And then you catch the blocks. Last one, you slide the blocks low, just above the ankles. This is the soleus, and it is, for most of you, going to be the worst. So the first one, same as before, elbows on the thighs. This is the main inhibitor to getting your feet down, your heels down in a squat. Ankles are super immobile. A lot of tendinous musculature in there, and soleus is a huge culprit in ankle flexibility. And if you can't get your heels down in a squat, that's what you've got, ankle inflexibility. Now you reach the knees forward. Ooh! Relax the upper body onto the blocks and the blocks onto the legs. 2 more breaths. Last one. Make it count full and deep. Yay! Set the blocks down. Now, before we come into our forward bend, we're going to come back into your normal squat. So where we started, arch them on the fingertips. You're reaching the heels towards the floor. Nice deep breaths. Try closing your eyes. See if you can relax in this position. Notice if your squat feels any different. Try to pick up your toes. Heels reach back towards the floor. One more breath. Wonderful. Hips come up. Yay. That was so worth it, wasn't it? For this very moment. A little blood brush back to the feet. Very good. Bend the knees. Pick up your toes, spread your toes wide, and you're going to grip your toes into the floor. As the knees press apart, you arch up on the fingertips. Sink the hips a little bit lower. Now can you get your hips even lower? And as the hips keep lower, how do you keep your chest in the same spot? And your job is to sort of memorize where this position is. And this is where I want you to end when you come up for your quad burners. So come all the way down, and then right where you were before, that's where I want you to stop. Never quite straightening the legs. Fighting for your natural curve, you're reaching the belly down, arching the chest up. Last 10. Make sure you're inhaling. And it burns, burns, burns. Here we go. 2 more. 2 and 1. Beautiful. Stack the blocks. Set the blocks aside and come all the way down. Into down dog, hands as wide as your mat. Wiggle the hips. Side to side. Here we go. So this is your reminder for down dog. We're not diving the head. You're pointing your sternum just like we were doing earlier, trying to arch that chest up. The tailbone is trying to reach the ceiling. And now I'm going to have you turn the left toes to the right. Very good. You reach the left heels down. Pick up your toes. Arms are fighting to be straight. Take the right leg straight up. And with the right leg reaching straight up, you're still finding a way to arch your chest. Can you lengthen your neck? Roll the ankle, wiggle the toes of the right foot. One more breath. Now straighten that left leg a little bit more. Your job is to keep the left leg straight. We're going to bend the right knee and open up the hips. Can you let that right leg drop back over to the left? Still arching up. And to point the hips to the right. 3, 2, 1. Set the right foot down. Wiggle. Check it out. And now we turn the right toes to the left. Right heel is reaching towards the floor. You arch up. Bend the left knee. Go ahead and pick it up. And for this first version, I want you to, right now we're squaring the hips towards the floor. So we haven't opened the hips up yet. My left knee is pointing towards the floor. You arch on up, straighten the right leg, pick up your right toes. Left leg is straight, see if you can reach it up a little bit higher. One more breath. Very good. Bend the left knee. Now you're going to open the hips up. Drop the left leg back over to the right. Somehow still arching the chest up. You open the hips up towards the left. What happened to your right leg? Can you straighten it even more? Last breath. Now you come back to center. One more time, you wiggle the hips. And now feet about hip width apart. We're going to go ahead and do our baby down dog push-ups. So remember, the hips stay high the entire time. As I shift weight forward, I keep the hips high, shoulders come over to the wrist, and I push back. Now as you come forward, that's when your elbows are going to want to bend the most. So your job is to have the background be your posture, so that's sort of, you're able to let that be how it is, and your focus is on how straight you can get the arms. Shoulders stay down. If this is too much, you just set your knees down. Same movement. If that's going well for you, keep doing the same movement. We're going to come on to left hand fingertips. So you have more weight on the right arm than the left. Make sure the shoulder blade stays down. Woohoo! Shoulders and arms aren't jealous now, are they? 3, 2, both hands down. Hips are staying high. You're fighting to keep the arms straight. Inhale deeply. And now we shift weight over to the left arm. Left arm stays straight. You come up onto right hand fingertips. Noticing one arm may feel more solid than the other. So the truth is, you may be able to do this with one arm and not the other. Do not let your shoulders come up. Three, 2, both hands down. Almost there. 10 more. Hips stay nice and high. Call this 2 more. 2, 1. Push back into down dog. 3 more deep breaths. Very good. Set the knees down and walk the legs all the way back into best yoga pose ever. Fold the hands in, rest your head down. And enjoy. Relax the soles of the feet. All the meat around the shoulder joint and the arms. Maybe feel your heart rates up. Each inhale. Noticing each exhale, you're trying to relax. Let go of anything you've been holding on to. This could be physical sensations, but it could be a whole lot of other things as well. And there's nothing else for you to do right now other than breathe and get connected to you. Two more breaths. bend the knees, pick the feet up, tick-tock the shins. Very good. Now, I'm going to have you, as you're tick-tocking the shins, just notice where the loudest of the sensations are. We're not going to change a whole lot about this. Technically, we're mostly just going to be lengthening abdomen. But what you'll notice is that the sensation is so much louder the instant you do that. So if it's too intense, you just come back to here. Very simple process. You just slide the elbows underneath your shoulders, and now you tick-tock. See if you can feel that lower back. Might have more to say about this. Because we're trying to do the thing that we're all so good at not doing, which is we're trying to lengthen the front of the body. Very good. Oh, I love it. So now, relax the legs all the way down. You're going to grab your 2 blocks, and you're going to set them on the front 2 corners of your mat, just like so. And then you're going to take your right elbow and your left elbow upon the blocks. You can take your hands into prayer hands. I don't want you crunching the back of the head to look at the screen as I do this, so you might want to watch me first if you're not familiar with this. So your elbows are on the blocks. You're looking towards the floor, and we're going to come into our bad waiter variation, and it's going to look just like this. Hopefully your hands can get further apart. So elbows on the blocks, head's looking towards the floor. I'm trying to wiggle my hips back so my armpits are closer to the ground. And then if you imagine that your hands are like a book, the pinky side is going to be the side that's the binding, and the thumb side is the pages. You're going to open up your handbook. This is a handbook for shoulder mobility and functionality. So now your palms are facing your feet. And you keep your palms facing your feet. Shoulders stay down. Don't let the shoulders come up. I want the shoulders down. You try to reach the wrists apart. If you can get any space between your pinkies, you're doing great. Now reach the wrists apart a little bit more. Arch the chest up. Still looking at the floor. Turn your head to the left. I'm going to lean the head away from the floor so my right ear is reaching towards the floor. And then the left ear is reaching backward, nodding the head as we look to the left. Last 2. Very good. Oh my gosh. Head comes back to the center. Re-reach the wrists away from each other. Holy molies. Turn your head strongly to the right. And then we nod the head in this new direction. So right ear is reaching towards the middle of the back. Left ear reaches to the floor. Up and down your head goes. Whew. Last 2. And 1. Head comes back to the center. Nice deep breaths. How much further can you get your hands to reach for 3, 2, whoo-wee. Now we're going to come right back into daily reading. Your shoulders should be shaking a little bit. Forearms parallel. And notice if, interestingly enough, your shoulders feel stronger. Tick-tock your head. Feel your neck. Head comes back to center. We turn the head, look left and right. Get those shoulders down. Awesome. Now we come back to center. Grip your hands into the floor. You're going to try to slide the lower body forward while the head and shoulders reach back. Shoulder blades are reaching down. And you're going to pull. Keep on pulling. Pick your elbows up 1 inch and pull, pull, pull. See if you can feel the work in your back. I want back to be doing all this work to get the upper body upper. 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Set the elbows down. You're going to take your left hand, turn it to the right, slide onto the left hip. So we're going to be in our sort of little mermaidish or merman pose. Just long enough for a twist. So top leg bends and comes back, bottom leg bends and comes forward. You're going to take a block and set it underneath your left knee. I want to say good morning to the people who were here. Hi Judy, hi Stacy. Welcome. It's great to have you here. If you didn't know, on My Yoga Better, if you click on the YouTube symbol on the video, it'll take you to YouTube, amazingly, and you can click on live chat and you can say hello. It's quite nice. Very good. So now we have the block underneath the left knee to make the twisting more alive. And now walk the elbows over to the left, so we've deepened the twist. It's okay if the right elbow doesn't quite get down on this. Your job is to inhale and feel it. And what you'll notice is that the deeper you inhale, it may even bring the right elbow up a little bit, but as you exhale, you can relax more into this position. And you might notice that you're fighting yourself to be in a twist. Close your eyes. Exhale like a sigh. And then you inhale. Keep inhaling, keep inhaling, keep inhaling, and keep inhaling. And then you exhale again. 2 more deep breaths. Very good. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Straighten this left arm. Lean up. Twist. See if you can feel your back doing the work. So you can actually twist using abdomen. So if you're using abs, it'll sort of almost like corkscrew you towards the floor. I want you to actually be arching and reaching back with the back. So see if you can feel the difference. The difference between the right shoulder coming forward and down and the left shoulder coming back. Try to relax this left hip. 2 more breaths. And then we untwist. Yay. Feet as wide as your mat. Tick-tock the knees a couple times as you arch your chest up. Feeling the difference. And then the next time your knees get to the right, take your block, set it underneath the right knee, and we set the elbows on the floor. Good morning, Helen. Great to have you here. And once you've initially exposed yourself to this twist, we want to almost pretty soon after you get there, walk the elbows, the upper body to the right. So you unslouch any slouchiness that may have been there. It deepens the twist a little bit. See if you can relax your belly towards the floor. Close your eyes. And it is not easy to breathe in a twist. And so we surf the upper edges of the inhale. Never holding your breath. As you're inhaling, when you get to the top, there may not even be much oxygen going into the lungs. That's okay. You just keep, almost like you're trying to sip the last bits of drink. The liquid that's on just the corners. You're sipping through a straw. You're trying to get as much oxygen as you can in there, and then you exhale. And you try again. Every breath trying to get a little bit more expansiveness in the chest and the rib cage. One more breath. Woot. Slide the hands under the shoulders. Push down through this right arm. We work on connecting to the back musculature to pull this right shoulder back as you peek over. Check out the left foot. So confusing. Really looks like it's the right foot, but it's the left if you're in a twist. Push down through the right hand. Can you get the shoulder away from the ear? One more breath. All right, now for the fun part. I know the whole class has been fun, hasn't it? Agreed. We're together. How could it be anything other than fun? We're going to lie over 2 blocks. If you've never lied over 2 blocks, it's going to make you really appreciate 1 block, if nothing else. So I want you to watch me. If you've not ever done this before, watch me real quick. You take your fingertips just like this. The fingertips are touching. I'm not interlacing. And then I'm going to take my fingertips low on the neck. And these are going to act as a spacer between your cervical vertebrae. We really don't want to ever crunch the back of the neck. And as you lie back, that's totally going to happen if you don't have your hands back there. So what it'll look like is that you have your thumbs on the block. As you lie back, first of all, this right here may be it for you. This might be plenty intense. So as you lie back, you just, wherever your edges are, you stay there. You catch the base of the neck, you squeeze your elbows in, and then wherever you stop, you're going to relax your head back. Try to reach your elbows towards the ceiling. That's the game. And as you lie back, eventually you'll be able to completely relax. Your head will touch the floor. Your arms can come overhead. Easy peasy. But in the beginning, heck no. So take as many breaks as you need. No crunching the back of the neck. If you do need to come up suddenly, you tuck the chin first before you come up. And I'll walk you through the exiting strategy. We do come up in a sit-up position from this in the way we normally do not do over 1 block. Very good. So you're relaxing the head back into the hands. You're using the fingertips to support the cervical neck. Elbows are pushing up, reaching up towards the ceiling. 2 more breaths. Very good. Now, the first piece in coming out of this is you strongly tuck the chin. I mean, I'm talking 20 double chins here if you need. So you tuck the head first, and then you take your arms forward. And then you keep sitting up, and it feels like you're not going to come up, and then all of a sudden you're up. Very good. And now you get rid of the top block. And this bottom block should be in a perfect position for you to lie back over it. So it's about a fist's width from your hips. And then you lie back for what we'll now call, what block? There's no block under me. I can barely feel it. If you ever need to appreciate 1 block, now you can, you now know you can just lie over 2. And then 1 feels like easy. Close your eyes. Bend your knees, feet slide to flat. Take your feet wide as the mat. Tick-tock the knees. Slow and easy as you drop the knees over to the right. See if you can reach this left knee towards the floor a little bit more. Take a nice deep breath there. And then you switch. So we're pausing at the edge of a tick-tock. 1 more each way. Beautiful. Now you come back to center. So just like we came out of 2 blocks, we're going to do a similar thing here. So the first thing I want you to do is push your hips into the floor, contract your back muscles. So I want you to see if you can feel the lower back try to arch up off of the block, and then you pick your feet up. So your feet are up, your hips are down. Take your arms forward, tuck your head, tuck your chin, and you're going to catch on the inside of your thighs. Fingertips are going to be on the shins. Thumbs are pointing towards the floor. Seat the shoulder blades down, and then you lie back over the block. So I've caught the knees, and you relax the legs out to the sides. Again, the hands are on the inside of the legs, so I'm not on the outside pulling the knees out. I'm actually gripping the shins. And you see how much you can relax the legs into the hands. So I'm giving up any tension. If this is your first time to see this movement or do it and you are confused, it's okay. This is a weird one to get the first time or the first couple times. And eventually it'll be like nothing. It'll be really, really clear. So if you need to take breaks to see what it is you're doing compared to what I'm doing, go ahead and do that. Just as soon as you can, you get into the position. This is so nice. Such a nice way to relax. The hands aren't getting much of a relaxation, but we're turning your arms and your legs into a suspension bridge. So the arms are doing the work to hold the legs up. See if you can let the shoulders relax down away from the ears. One more breath. And now you slide the hands to the outside of the thighs, help the knees back together. Relax your arms, feet are still up. And wiggle the fingers, roll the wrist. Wiggle the ankles. Wiggle the ankles and roll the toes. Very good. Go ahead and set your feet down on the floor. Push your heels into the floor, pick the butt up. Get rid of the block that's underneath. Hips stay high, and so now we're in ramp. We're going to ramp it up. This posture was formerly known as bridge. But as you can clearly see, a bridge it is not. So you can use squeeze your buns a little bit more, get the hips a little higher. I have almost no pressure in the head or shoulders, so all the work is coming from the heels pressing straight down and the hips pressing straight up. So if you feel pressure in the upper body, like you're pushing your head towards the wall or towards the back of your mat, go ahead and reorient the forces going through your feet. Squeeze your buns, take your thumbs up, poke your buns, make sure they're working hard. There's buns in there. Yay. We're going for cramp. Shoulders are relaxed. Face is relaxed. Can you squeeze your buns a little bit more? Get the hips a little bit higher. Now you're, of course, welcome to stay right here. Or you can play around with shifting weight over to the right leg. Crush this right heel into the floor. Lighten the weight that's on the left leg. See if you can make the left leg up. And if you do get your left leg up, squeeze your right buns even harder so you can reach your toes to the ceiling. They're almost there. 3. Squeezy. 2. 1. Keep that hip up nice and high. Set the left foot down. Close your eyes. Take a couple breaths here before we switch sides. Feeling the difference. And now shift weight over to the left leg. Squeeze your left buns. Line the right leg. Pick it up. Ooh, try to touch the right toes to the ceiling. Squeeze your left buns even more. 3, 2. Keep the hips up nice and high. Right foot comes down. Now if you're new to back bending, you're welcome to stay right here. If you're going to try a back bend, just make sure you're not pushing the back of your head into the floor. You want to get onto the top of your head. Everyone's hip stays up regardless. Take your hands deep under the shoulders and as wide as your mat. Pinkies off the edges of your mat. Squeeze your elbows in. Hips stay high. You push all the way up into your back bend. Can you squeeze your buns even harder? Get the hips higher. 3, 2, 1. Slowly, slowly come all the way down. Walk the legs out to straight. Arms are out. Close your eyes. You're done. Each breath exposing you to all that work you just did in your body. Feel the chest expand as you inhale, inviting all that sensation in. Feel your hands and your feet. Relax your jaw. Breathing is so important for many, many reasons. But the nice thing you have access to right now is you just did a bunch of work. And so as you inhale, it's your opportunity to feel it. Your day is coming. You don't really have a whole lot of choice about that. But between now and when you do whatever is next for you, I want you to taste, appreciate, savor you. 2 more deep breaths. And now go ahead, start to wiggle your fingies, your toesies. Roll the ankles and wrists. Bend the knees, feet come to flat. Arms reach up overhead. Get those shoulders down as you tick-tock the knees. Yeehaw. Ooh. And then take your arms back down. We pick a side. Slowly make your way to standing. Very good. And then up you go. Once you do get up, tick-tock one last time for good measure. I don't want anyone passing out. And then we'll do our final postural reset for the rest of your day. Hopefully you do this more than just now. Palms face up, point your thumbs towards the floor. You reach the wrists apart. Kick those elbows forward as you get the shoulders on down. I want you to feel it almost like a burning contraction feeling in the shoulders. Maybe a stretch as you now reach the head away from the shoulders that are reaching down. Hips press back about 1 inch over the heels. Tick-tock the head. Feel your neck. And now head comes back to center. Turn. Still reaching those elbows forward. Still reaching the head, the shoulders down. There we go. And now you come back to center. One more deep breath. And as you exhale, close your eyes, relax your arms. Feel your body. Your feet on the floor. The circulation you now have to your hands. And just like that, we're done. Thank you so much for your hard work, your attention. It's an honor to get to be with you this morning. Self high fives. If you have any questions, let us know in the chat. I can't wait to see you next time. Class starts at 11, the medium/death class. Ciao.